Here we are at 2456 Anemone Court, Loveland, Colorado. The exterior of this is going to be pretty tough for me to show you guys, just with how large this tree is up front. But good front yard, good landscaping in the front. House is pretty hidden behind this one main tree for the majority of the summertime, and then obviously wintertime it opens it up a little bit. But it looks like they went through and power washed the fence line. Looks like they might have done it through the entire backyard as well. Nice curved driveway. There's one small settling crack that I'll show you here in a second, but just wanted to give you a look at the neighborhood as well. Very peaceful part of this neighborhood. Backs you over. There's just a little trail at the end of this cul-de-sac that goes right and left through the neighborhood. Nice mature landscaping around here too as well. So nice little spot to have a little peace and quiet. Not close to any railroad tracks or anything like that. And just a nice lot in terms of where it's located. Now in terms as we get up closer to the house, exterior wise, paint wise, it's looking in good shape. Looks like everything is in tip-top shape in terms of paint. The only thing I see is maybe on the gutters above the garage door. A few spots where the chip is painted on the gutters, but that's about it. So nothing major up front. Garage door looks like it's sealed pretty well. A little settling by the garage, and just a little bit of settling as well by the drain, and just in between the porch and the driveway. You could mud jack that up as well. I don't think that's something you'd have to replace or anything like that. And could be some options. This does have a nice little front patio that's covered. This is kind of the view from the front patio looking out towards the street. I'll also get you guys a view of the neighborhood as well. Coming in, nice side door here, and storm door as well. The glass does pop off as a screen. Coming into the main living room. Looks like this might be the original tile, potentially, but we can always double check that. But it does look like they have upgraded the flooring. I will say this room would be a little bit of a challenge for furniture, just depending on what you guys have. But it is a nice wide open alley. It's kind of how I kind of describe the feel of this house. Box Prairie, which is another video I did for you guys. This is pretty similar in terms of just the spacing and everything. I think this house was done better on that, but still has kind of that more tight feeling. But this is the pantry. It's a decent sized one. I know it's not a walk-in, unfortunately, but still plenty of space and cabinetry at least on that side for storage. All appliances are newer in the house. Cabinets and countertops are original. They did repaint them. I would believe these are the old oak wood cabinetry as well that most people are starting to finally paint over, and they did add in new hardware as well. It does look pretty nice on that side. New faucet and everything, but I think the sink is also definitely an original sink. It looks like they've had to replace the garbage disposal on it as well at one point or another. Backsplash is kind of a beige brown to it. They did put some new lighting in here. These are some of the Home Depot LED lightings that you can get. They're typically around 75 to 80 bucks depending on what you're looking at. They did keep one of the more original lights as well and updated the light over the kitchen table. We'll just peek over here. This door just to the right of me is just your small little coat closet. Right in front of me is the door to the garage, and then just to the left is going to be the quarter bath. Laminate countertops, repainted the cabinets down there as well, same hardware. Looks like they updated the toilets as well. Straight across from the bathroom is going to be your laundry room. In terms of size wise, it's going to be about a 5 foot, maybe 5.5 foot wide area, and then lengthwise you're probably looking at a little over, probably just about a 10 foot. But enough storage space in here. No wet sink or anything like that, or tables for folding or anything on that side. Doors all look like they're in good condition. Looks like all hardware on the doors were replaced at one point as well. Coming into the garage, gonna be really tough, but this actually has a decent space. On this side, it's a little bit of an oversized garage, so you have about 4.5 feet of space along the main wall to the house for storage and maybe a little shop area. I believe this garage is big enough to fit a truck lengthwise if you were to get rid of these benches in the back. But they do have it pretty filled up at the moment. And you also have access to the attic as well from the garage. Garage is not insulated, neither is the garage door. In terms of the main garage door, like this door right here, that is not insulated. So this will get hot in the summers and cold in the winters. With the repainting of the cabinets, there's a few areas where I can see it just didn't get touched up maybe as well. So just depending on kind of your guys' desires, you guys could retouch up the cabinets maybe a little bit. This is now looking back to the front door / TV room. And this is what I was kind of saying. Like you're gonna almost have to have recliners in here, a smaller TV, I would say, just to be able to fit more seating in here if you needed it. Going upstairs, all floors are in really good condition. Carpet looks like it's in really great condition too. Not sure when it was replaced, but I can look that up as well. Floorboards are the 1.5" for the floorboards and the trim. The trim used to be the oak trim as well, but it looks like they painted over those as well. Most of this looks like it was painted by the owner, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of I can just see some areas where the paint fades into the ceiling, and some of the trim has some areas where there's some touch-up work that needs to be done. So here's one of the first guest bedrooms. Looking out, you will have a view of your neighbors from the rear. Give you kind of an idea of what your neighbors' yards look like, but again, a lot of mature landscaping around here for summertime. Pretty hard to see anybody. Closets. These are all going to be 6 foot long by 2.5 foot wide. So you're pretty much your basic closet with just the basic rack above. These were also painted as well. These were also, all these accordion doors used to look like they were oak as well, and they got painted. Looks like the inside of these accordion doors did not get painted. Paint job in here, it's kind of like a brown gray. A little bit brightens it up, but kind of feels a little dark just with the paint job. In terms of size wise, I forgot to mention that in this room. These are a little bit smaller of rooms. So this one, because of the odd shape this is, you're probably looking at a 9 foot by 10 foot room here. So pretty small, bigger than the other room that we're about to look at. So going over here, this is the next room. This room faces to the next door neighbor's house and then into their backyard. This room is relatively small, same closet, and this room also holds your attic access as well. Original fans in here and lighting. And the closet is the same, if I didn't say anything on that side. We also have a little linen closet here. And then you have your shared bath, full bath for upstairs, except for the master. And that will be your basic fiberglass tub with original 4x4 white pattern tiles, so they're not just these straight up tiles, they have a little bit of a texture to them. In terms of tub wise, the fiberglass tub looks like it's in pretty good shape. Looks like it just needs a little bit maybe of a scrub down just around the corners, but I don't see a bunch of stains or anything like that present. And just in case, same laminate countertops, same paint job and same hardware as well, with original sink and faucet. Coming into the master bedroom, this one is maybe a little bit more on the small side, but this is a very large king and frame bed. So this is probably a 12 by maybe 12 or 13. It feels just a little bit smaller than that just because of how much furniture is in here, but it's still very nice. Carpets in here are a little bit more used, but nothing in particular that this won't be vacuumed out. Master bedroom is to the front of the house, so this would be kind of your view out here. And it looks like, you'll have to see, but it looks like that aspen tree is looking like it's maybe not coming back. It has a few branches, but it looks like it's been pretty much smothered out by the other tree. Same issue with this last home here. They just didn't finish the wall in between the bathroom and the closet. So something to think about in terms of just moisture and other not ideal things like that unless it bothers you. Biggest thing is I see is a pretty large foundation crack right here. So this house moved at one point pretty significantly and really created a pretty good size crack all the way down this seam here. You know, that's pretty typical, but that's a pretty good size movement without it being addressed or looked at. So it'd be something I would probably look at some point. It's probably not a big issue, but with that little bit of foundation movement out front as well, you just kind of wonder what's occurred and if there's any damage occurred to it. Bathroom, I would say is a little less. It's probably about an 8 by 8. You do have a nice little pocket bathtub that's a deep tub as well, so a little bit deeper than your average tubs. And then framed shower. One thing I will say with this shower is that the shower head is a lot lower, so just be prepared to maybe have to readjust that a little bit just with your guys' height. And then your toilet is just right around the corner with a pocket toilet. And then your closet is an open air closet to the master bedroom. You do have one of the old school lights up above. And this is a relatively small closet. It's, I'd say 7 foot long by 3.5, 4 foot wide. So you have a little space, but not as much of a walk-in closet as you would expect. Nice part is it does have a little pocket door, so it saves a little space. We'll pop out back really quick. Otherwise, that is the main majority of the house. In terms of any issues with the house, that was really the only crack that I saw was about the master bedroom. Again, nothing that's serious, just something that you'd want to look out and maybe get someone over to see what's the best correction to getting it fixed. Coming out to the backyard, you do have a nice open backyard, not a bunch of mature landscaping back in here like some of the other neighbors. They do have one nice little lilac bush that's popping out here, but the rest of it's pretty open, so if you guys want to come in and do some planting, this is also a really nice backyard for doing a little bit of that. Isn't overtaken by already too much mature landscaping. Coming over to the left, you got your AC. Your AC and your furnace are original, and your water heater was replaced. This water heater was replaced in 2020. actually the AC, just listening to it, sounds fairly normal. And then when I was listening to the furnace downstairs, it sounded just fine as well. I didn't see anything on service records, so that would be something we would have to ask the sellers. But coming to the other side as well, you have a double gate, so if you want to come in and park anything like a small trailer or something like that, you'd have the possibility to do that. And it looks like this fence actually is pretty new. Looks like the neighbors must have put it in at one point. And then the rest of the fence is actually in pretty good condition as well. In terms of back of the house, this is actually where I can see a little bit of sun fading on the paint. You know, a lot of houses have this. My house, when I bought it back in 2016, it actually looked pretty similar to this. We repainted it around 2017, 2018 after we got the house, and you know, it's just something you deal with within Colorado. Most paint lasts typically 5 to 7 years before you should repaint homes, but most people end up waiting a little longer on that end. All right, let's pop downstairs to the basement, and then that should be about it, guys. One thing this does have, it looks like a Nest thermostat, so you could hook up wirelessly on that end. But coming down to the basement, this is the finished basement. They do have one of the original lights still up in the main hallway, which makes sense. Most people don't replace those. Coming down, there's a little damage on the piece of wood right here. Looks like maybe kids were sliding down it at one point in life, but hasn't been much replaced. Coming down to the basement, it is actually a little bit more open than some of the other basements we've been in. Not like the ranch style home over in Meadowbrook. That's still probably the nicest basement we have seen so far. But carpet down here is in good shape. The trim is still the original. This is actually the trim that they painted upstairs. It looks like it was pretty similar to it. So just in case you guys wanted it ever changed out for white trim. Same dark gray paint in here, so it does make this basement feel a little bit darker. But plenty of space to be able to put something in here if need be. In terms of, this is probably a better place to actually have a TV and couch set up for livability wise, and just using that in other areas and maybe a little bit smaller of a TV room. Behind this little curtain is just your storage underneath the stairs. It's going to be pretty dark. They don't have a light in here, but you got a little bit of space there. Not much though. Swinging over to here, this is actually your last bedroom in the house. It is in the basement with its own bathroom and walk-in closet. One concern I have is I smell moisture, quite a bit of moisture in this bathroom here. I know someone's using it, but that just tells me that there's quite a bit of moisture in here. But fiberglass tub, definitely been used, definitely has some stains, definitely is being used still, probably every single day. And just a kind of a musty smell in this bathroom, so you can see a little bit of rusting on like vents and things like that, which this is a tight bathroom. Very minimal ventilation, I bet is done in here, so just something to be aware about. And if you go in there and repaint and put some kills down, it would make it smell a little bit better on that end. Coming in here, this is your tiny walk-in closet. So this is a 4 foot wide by 3.5, 4 foot deep closet. It's a relatively small closet. Let's see if I can actually turn the light on so you can see it. But gives you an extra little space for storage. These doors are really cheap doors from Home Depot, just to give you that heads up. You can keep them and paint them. They've just left them unstained, so they just aren't, they're just unfinished. And then last place will be coming in here to the furnace room. Right in front of us, main water shutoff. There is your 2020 water heater. And then just being in here, last service record I can see was back in 2010. That was actually written on the sheet. and it was just a service on it. But sitting in here sounds good. Actually looks like they put in a little bit newer of a humidifier as well. That's a Honeywell, good brand on that side. And then the furnace is a Carrier. And that is what this house pretty much has. You know, if you guys really like that ranch house in Brook Meadows, this is going to be a completely different feel. It's just a little bit tighter. It's not like it's unlivable, but I'm not sure if it's exactly what you guys are looking for. But please let me know what your thoughts are, and maybe we can jump on a call at some point after you guys checking out these two houses and seeing if there's anything worth looking at, or if we want to just kind of proceed forward.